Double Edge, the post-podcast show. Today we're going to talk about the experience me and John had with the grad program. So basically I just wanted to ask you, how was your experience from start to finish? What do you think you've improved in, and how did it go for you?
So to start, we started in a photography class.
Yes, we did.
Which I don't think went well for me.
I remember I was going to the beach, and I was with one of my friends who is big into photography, and I was like, I don't care, this doesn't look good to me. And he was like, no, show me the proper angles and etc., really trying to get me to understand it. And I don't know how you did. I don't know what your process was while taking the pictures for class.
My process was, I gotta have these pictures for class. Let's get this done. Photography is great for some people, not for me. It's great if you do it well, and it's just not something I think I do well. But when as we got further along in the program, it became more about writing and video, which I'm better in. And so the further we got into the program, the more interesting and honestly fun it was for me. And so now we're at the end of it, and we've gotten to do so much on camera work, which is what I came here for.
Right.
I came here for the writing part of journalism and on camera stuff. And now that we've gotten to the point where we've done a lot of that, I could say I loved this program, but I had to get to the end to love
it. Right, of course. Photography, I was so excited to get to video editing. I was like, I can finally, show my stuff a little bit.
Well, I think one of the problems we had is in our group of people, the 12 of us, I think we're down to 9 now, we didn't have any true photographers in our class, nobody who wants to do photography. Some people were good at it, but I don't think any of us in this group wanted that as our main career.
I know Reneen.
Yeah, she's very good.
She was into food photography.
Yeah. She wants to be a teacher, So
right.
She wants to go back to Saudi Arabia and be a teacher there. So even she doesn't want to be a photographer, last I heard. So I think that was the issue, because, even if we had one person who loved photography and that's what they wanted to do as a job, then I think it would have been, a better experience, because there was someone there who actually wanted the feedback and wanted to improve and cared about their photos. I can't say I necessarily did.
I get that. I mean, I'm looking at this porch.
Yeah.
And I remember...
You're seeing the geometric shapes?
I'm remembering a time when I was in that corner by that camera. My mom was holding one of my trumpets up in the air, because I was like, I don't know what a good picture is. This looks cool, right? The sun will hit it. It's like this rose reddish color, and I'll put the picture up on the screen or whatever. But I was like, is this good? Is this bad? And I took a picture of this fence with the sun coming through it. I was like, is this cool? I don't know.
I understand the point behind taking the photography class and, having to learn those skills to get to video. It makes sense. It just didn't do it well.
Oh, man. But, it was a learning experience. And I'd say by the end, I was okay at photography. I don't know if it's anything I'd brag about to anyone.
Yeah. I do have a little side story, and it's going to sound sad, but I find it a little bit funny. So for one of the first projects we did for the photography class, I think it might have been either the one about composition or color, I don't remember, but I took a picture of my cat. And over the course of this program, my cat died. So it's one of the last pictures I have of my cat. So if I got anything from photography class, it was a picture of my cat.
That's something to take from it.
Yeah.
That's something to take from it. I remember being in the studio. And this was mid-COVID. Everyone was kind of like...
Gather around, gang.
We were all kind of like, I don't know. And I was just trying to hook up anything. I was like, I guess this looks good. And man, we've come away. We've come away. I never
Yeah.
thought I'd be able to use any of the equipment in that newsroom, like the
Yeah, and we really do know how to use it now, I would say.
yeah. But we came a long way from setting up lights and kind of going, does this look good? Is this gonna, and you put yourself, you take a picture and your reflections in it, and it was such a mess back then. I'd say with us,
Yeah.
like our crew, trying to figure out how to take a good picture.
Yeah. Or like in the very beginning, just figuring out how to take a picture, with the fancy cameras we have.
Yeah.
Because, it's not like an iPhone where you know how to take it. Like, there's a lot of buttons on there.
Being taught what ISO is, because
Yeah.
people, oh, man. But I'd say, once we got into video, I think now if you put the camera in front of us and told us to take a good picture, I think it'd be all right. I think
it'd be 10 times easier than a year ago.
Oh yeah, well, no doubt, and I think that also comes from the video work, because
Yeah.
now we know what a good looking image is.
Yeah.
So I think with that correlation, we could definitely make it work. And of course, after that much photography, I'd hope we could do something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd be going through trees, going, is that a cool angle or not? And
Yeah.
no, it wasn't a cool angle, but I tried.
Yeah.
But no, I think we've really come a long way. I know your work with video editing has really come a long way.
Well, thank you, but I don't think it's come far enough.
Well, I don't think mine's come far enough either, but it's...
Well, I think the greater point is that there's always work to do even when the program's over.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's when it starts.
Yeah, the real work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean my last... I don't want to talk about my last story, but besides that, I'd say I put out some pretty good... some pretty good stuff. The last story... That audio was... yeah, it's true. It was just a series of unfortunate events. I mean, I had like 2 or 3 stories fall through. Some I won't mention again.
Yeah.
And it was such I was ready to go to the parade.
Yeah.
You would never catch me dead at a Memorial Day parade.
You were ready to go.
I was ready to go with the camera, and I'm happy Brittany took that story.
Yeah.
Because I did not want to spend my Monday. Oh God, I can't even imagine it.
Yeah, I mean, my last story that I did was like, I was so excited about the story itself.
Right.
I remember I even told you about it. Like, I was so proud of the story,
Mm-hmm.
and then just my shooting didn't cut it for me. So, and like I talked about in class, I didn't get enough B-roll. Some of the B-roll I had wasn't great, so it's like, no, I don't want to say that, but like I said, there's always stuff to improve on.
Right,
Yeah.
that's true. But I could not believe that last story I did. I mean, I had great B-roll, the interviewees were great, and I had the mic on the wrong setting, so...
It was just also very last minute for you, since you had like
It was.
3 other stories that fell through.
I was so flustered trying to get it done. I was at the farmers markets just like,
Because your marching band story, which I put in my capstone, was probably one of the best stories in the class of the
thank
year. So I don't think it was your skill that got in the way. I think it was the circumstances.
Well, the band one kind of came as a godsend, since I knew the people. I was still performing with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't performing with that band, but the performers who were participating in that specific band.
But your intro to that story is still one of my favorite intros to any of the stories.
I was the whole time I was editing that story, I was like, the outro. I was like, because I know I was going to put this trumpet player just rip this high note. I was like, that's going to be the closing.
Yes, that was good too.
That's
But the
gonna be the
beginning was just
closing.
as good. Do you remember the beginning?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it took me a bit to edit.
Okay.
I'd hope I remember that.
It was
experience.
End of Time, right? By
Yes,
Beyonce being
yes.
played by the band. Yeah.
Yes, that was. And then I did my video game streaming story,
Mm-hmm.
and that one was. I'd say it was a good mid story. It probably goes down the order from best to worst.
Right in the middle.
That one was right in the middle.
Yeah.
And then there was just. But your stories, I mean, you started with What'd you start with?
Well, I did a lot of different things. I didn't
Right.
I didn't have a story every week. My first thing was a story. It was about finding love in a pandemic, about my
Yes,
two
with
best
your
friends who
friends,
started
right?
dating, who are still together.
Oh, great! We got the update. The Pulse viewers, if you're viewing this, we got the update. They're still together.
They're still together.
It's all good.
They just went on a trip to North Carolina together, and they're going to Virginia together this weekend. And then, so that was my first story, and then I did a stand-up piece about the Oscars and the Golden Globes.
Yes.
That I had a lot of fun doing that. Then I did a story about a cafe in Bethel who had their pride flag stolen and
Yes.
burned. So that was a much more serious story, but I had fun doing it. And then my last thing was an interview with Professor Al Castro, which was also fun.
Speaking of one of those weeks, I have to bring it up. This is something you're talented in, and I don't think I want to touch it again. And that's the anchor desk.
Yeah, I loved the anchor desk.
I thought I knew I had to give it a try. I said I got to do this once. I got to get on camera just to say I did it. And God, it was it was a little rough. I'll admit it wasn't bad. I just think I'm a lot better behind the scenes. I think that's just where my more talents lie. But I mean, you were just always raring to go on the anchor desk. I mean,
Any chance I had to sit in the anchor's chair, I took it.
yep. And we got out early because you were always
One take Mudgett.
one take Mudgett as Alicat. Yep, that's right. One take Mudgett. But like I said before, I think we really came a long way, and I'm excited to see where we go from here.
Where do you think you're going to go from here?
Something that pays me.
Well, I mean, I have a job that pays me right now, but it's not in media.
Well,
so
of course. Again, I hope, I hope to do something with video editing. I don't know what that is yet. That's where I want to be. That's why we're doing this podcast. But that's where I'm at.
I'll become a popular news anchor, and you
Okay.
could be my editor.
Okay. That's a good deal.
Good. Now someone hire us.
Please. Well, I think that's all the time we have for the extra show.
Oh, okay.
I just had to double check the time earlier.
Is it dinner?
The network only keeps us for so long.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to pay for the commercials.
Right. So, thanks for tuning in to Off the Ledge, and we're going to have more to come later on. So, we'll see you.